Hey guys, it's Skylar again, and I want to show you guys the Turtle Amplifier, and today we're going to be diving into how to use their presets on their web GUI. So if you look right here, they give us 5 presets to work with, and let's just first go over how to make the preset, and then we can dive a little bit deeper. So as you can see, I already have a route set up here. I have channel 1 going out of speaker out right, channel 2 going out of speaker out left, and in my situation, these are run mono, and they're run to 2 separate rooms. And then let's go back over here to presets and hit save. And let's swap these. And we're going to hit save on preset 2. So as we can see, this is the current configuration. We can recall that first configuration. It's going to swap it back. And we can recall the second configuration. It's going to swap it back again. And then one thing to keep in mind is this is very useful. But if you have multiple settings going on at the same time, these presets are global. So that's really the whole reason I wanted to make this video, is to point out and highlight the fact that these are global presets. It's not a preset for audio. It's not even just a preset for your system settings. It's not even just a preset for your main volume or your master mute. It's a global preset. Everything that is available to you on this web GUI will go back to however it was when you saved the preset. So every setting you have will go back to that setting when you saved the preset. So I'm just going to give you a really quick example with the system settings. So I can go ahead and turn my auto standby timer off. And then maybe I think I'm going to make a new audio preset where I take these out of line out left and right. And then I go and save my third preset. And then I go and I recall, maybe I don't want this setup anymore, I want this, and so I hit recall, and it does go back, but then we can go back here to our system, and it turns our auto standby timer back on. So this is going to apply to our master volume, our master mute, our system settings. It's going to apply to everything. It's going to apply to our EQ, actually, so if we set this EQ flat, and we trigger this preset again, you're going to see that we're going to go back to that low pass. So that's just something to keep in mind. But besides that, these presets for kind of basic functionality are super handy. I'm going to recommend that you take a look at the manual for the Turtle 150 watt amp, and you take a look at those network commands and use those if you're trying to edit something or trigger something specifically, and you can use that with a processor, like a Crestron processor, for example, or whatever your flavor is. But that's what I would recommend when trying to change specific channel or specific items with the Turtle 150 watt Dante amplifier. And let's keep the presets for anything global, because it's any little setting you change, it's going to get triggered. So you just got to keep an eye out for that, because you're going to think that something's wrong or something's broken, but in reality, we've just triggered a setting that we totally forgot about, and we will never go back to look at, and it's buried somewhere in the system settings, and we don't know why it keeps turning off or why our standby timer keeps coming back on. Maybe we think it's broken, but really we've just triggered that global preset by accident. And so, best practice is usually 9 times out of 10 is probably to leave the global presets alone. And to use those network commands unless you're really dialed into your settings, and you're going to have to go back and remake all of those presets if you change one of those settings, or if you decide now you do want your auto standby timer, you're going to have to go back and remake all those presets. So it's just something to think about. But thank you guys so much for listening, and if you have any suggestions for any future videos, please let me know.